Hey, today we're going to show you how to do a backyard garden or an urban garden, or we're going to call it a kitchen garden, whatever you call it. We're going to show you how to do it start to finish. Hey folks, welcome back to the farm. We're right outside the kitchen here, and we're going to put in a little garden here for our household stuff. So everything that goes in here is not touchable to sell, so I've already been told. So we're just going to plant it, and it's for my wife, and we just kind of laid it out. I think it's like 8 by 12, and now and I tilled this, and I've tilled this. We're gonna go start to finish, but I tilled this about 3 times, about 3 or 4 days apart, and that kind of breaks up the weeds and stuff. You can see it worked out really good. It's good and loose. You know, there's a little bit of grass there, but this was a yard, so we just went straight out of the yard. And we talked about maybe doing a raised bed. So you could do a raised bed. You could buy those metal raised beds, and I'd kind of like to do that maybe in the next few years. That way I don't have to bend over and stuff. You know, when you get older, it'd be a little easier. And this lady that buys eggs from us, she took some blocks and laid out her garden thing and filled it full of dirt because she didn't have good dirt. So you could do something like that. You know, it's just as broad as it is long. But we're going to do it. We just decided to do this like that, and we tilled it, of course, like I said. So then I got some compost and I throwed in here, so I'm gonna rake that in and show you how to do that. I didn't have really enough to do it, but I'm not really too worried about the fertility of this dirt. And this pile here is what I had left over, and it's not really completely composted yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and spread it out. Okay, so I got that worked in, and now you can plant just like it is, just go. But we're not going to do that. We're going to put some woven fabric down, this stuff right here. And this is a good quality fabric. Now you can get cheaper stuff. I've got some cheaper stuff down in high tunnel number 2, but this right here is really good. I mean, it'll last for years and years and years. And what it does, it lets the water pass through, but it suppresses the weeds. So it's kind of like a plastic, but it lets the water go through. So we're going to use that, but you don't have to. And if you do use it like we do, there's no shame in it, because I mean, we all have jobs. We don't have time to come out here 15 hours a day and weed. So I mean, anything you can do to help make garden more enjoyable and produce your own food, I say go for it. Don't listen to, because there's some people on you know, as you'll watch, you'll say, oh, don't use this, and you know, you need to be a purist and all this stuff. Well, nah, you do whatever you want to do, and there's no shame in doing it, and it's not really a shortcut. Don't really make you lazy. It's just that, you know, we got other things we got to do. We got to make a living, so we don't have time to come here and weed, and this right here will help out a whole lot. So I'm gonna get this spread out, and we're gonna go this way with it, and I'll come back and show you how we're gonna hold her down and what it all looks like. All right, so we got it spread out here, and it's actually looks like about 10 by 16, not 8 by 12. So you can see that it looks pretty nice, and these lines here are a foot apart, so that's one reason we like them, because it helps you plant. It helps you on your spacing. So we're going to use wood chips to kind of go around the perimeter, and some in the middle on the overlaps to kind of hold it down. You know, if you remember, we used staples down there, but we decided to try this instead. So I'm going to spread this out and run the edges and a couple of places on the seam, and we'll come back and we'll get to planting. All right, we got her locked down here pretty good. One thing I do like, we're gonna put it a little thicker after we get it all done. Well, I should put it all over everything, I think. we're gonna plant some seeds, and once the seeds come up, we'll put some mulch on them. That way, I think keep it a little cooler, you know, later on in the summer. This is a good spot though, because we'll get about 7-8 hours of sunshine, and in the evening it goes behind the trees, so you won't get that hot afternoon sun like we do down there. So that's one good thing about this place. But we got it around the perimeter, and I think one good thing about that too, when you're mowing, when I have to mow around here, it give me a boundary to mow too. So we're gonna get started, and we're gonna put some squash down first, and it's a multi-pick, it's the name of it. And there's 2 ways you can make a hoe in it, in this stuff, or 3 ways, I guess. You can take scissors and make it like an X, and we've done that. Matter of fact, we did that one year with strawberries, 1,000 X's. It took forever. And then I have a one of those big torches with the big end on it, and you can get it really hot, and that's what we do when we got a whole lot. Or you can take a little hand torch too and do it. And I'm gonna try this, and of course I hadn't never done it with this, so this is new to me. But I've seen them do it on TV, so let's try it right here. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna put 4 squash plants on this row, and 4 plants will feed a family of probably 15 or 20, I think. Because if you look at another video, well, our last video, I think we showed our squash down there. That's 3 plants, and we've got so much out of it. Well, the girls went to the market today to sow some. So I'm gonna get these 4 hoes and cut, and then we'll plant the squash, and then we'll do the next thing. Now, remember, and I am the world's worst, but overcrowding. So, I mean, I went 2 foot basically between these, and that might even be too close, I don't know. But remember, don't put them this close together, because you've seen how big they get. So I'm gonna go get the seed, and we'll talk about it, and we'll get to planting this. All right, so I got all the hoes burnt and got it all laid out, what we're gonna do. You know, we kind of discussed it, what we wanted to go with first and all this. So anyway, we're going to do squash first, and this is a multi-pick from Harris, and they're treated. So I got 4 heels, and I'm going to use my standing plant, but you could use like a little gardener's or a little shovel thing. I can't think what they're called, but and that's what we used to use. But this is so much easier on my back and knees and stuff. So. And I put probably 2 seeds per hoe. All right. Next thing we're going to do, our next row, we're going to do bell peppers. So we've got some beautiful green bell peppers here. Just a regular old, called a giant bell or a bonnie bell. So. Uh-oh. Just about didn't make my hole big enough there. And we got 6 of these. Of course, I spaced these about 16 inches apart. So. Oh, I've got one too many holes. All right, next thing we got is beans. We're gonna do some beans for our, just for us to eat. And in this size garden, I would say you can't do a runner or a pole bean unless you put structure here. I don't want to put structure, so we're going with the old Blue Lake. It's a bush bean, and It's actually our favorite bean. So everything we plant here is probably our favorite. So I'm probably putting about 3 seeds per hoe. And these hoes are a foot apart. And I've probably got at least a good 2 foot between rows. And you know, that might even be a little tight, I don't know. All right, now for the good stuff, right? The tomatoes. So we're going to have 2 rows of tomatoes, and I'm going to start off with a red cherry. And these plants look awful. This got little tomatoes on it. I didn't even notice that. But we'll go ahead and plant them anyway. I've been saving them, and we kind of got behind on doing this. So that's why they look like this. But I'll put a little. Oh, this one's got it too. I'll put a little. I'll water these in for a couple of days, and then I'll put a little fish fertilizer on them. They'll green them right up. Next is a Camaro. It's a hot set, and I probably need to go over that in detail in another video. But I got a ton of them down there in the hot zone. Now we grow these off from seed now. Next row is Celebrity F1, and they're also a semi-hot set. I don't know if they're full on, but I really like a Celebrity, so. And so I got 3 more hoes, but I'm not gonna put anything in them right now, tomato wise. I got some Bella Rosas down there, and they're about this tall, so they need about another week. I'll come up here and put them in there. And Bella Rosa is something I've been wanting to try. They're another hot set tomato, and they're supposed to be really good. Okay, our next row, we're gonna do cucumbers, and we're gonna do pickling cucumbers, and they don't really get like a slicer will cover this whole area up. So these right here are kind of compact, and they're good to eat too. You don't have to make pickles out of them. I ate one, well, the one I ate on the other day on camera, that was a pickling cucumber. So I'm gonna do 2 hills of double organic and 2 hills of Arkansas Little Leaf. Now Arkansas Little Leaf, I used to grow a whole lot of them, and the last few years they ain't been doing too good. So I'm gonna put them up here at the house where we can keep them watered and stuff like that. It's hard to keep everything watered down there. So I'm just gonna put about 2 or 3 seeds per hill or hoe. And we don't really care if they cross-pollinated, it really matters. Okay, our last row we're gonna put zucchini, and this is it's called Reward F1. It's a hybrid, so same thing, put a couple seeds in there, each one, so, and they're green. There you go. We've probably got just a little over like an hour and 5 minutes in this, not counting the tilling. Time we came out here, spread the compost, put the fabric down, and did the plants in an hour and 5 minutes. So, and we've got a pretty good little garden here. This right here would feed, I guarantee this would feed a family of 6, if not more. So we'll keep you updated on it as it goes, and hopefully everything turns out good. Like I said, I got some Bella Rosas. I'll put them out there hopefully next week. And of course we got to water all this in. We won't show you that. And We'll probably fertilize it probably in a couple of days after it gets a good little set there. And we'll probably we'll just use organic on this. Some of our field we're using regular fertilizer. High tunnels I'm using organic, and it seems, you already see our tomatoes and our peppers and stuff. Go back and look at the last video. They look outstanding. So anyway, hope you liked the video. Just wanted to show you this, how easy it is. And we live in 7B zone. You need to find out what zone you live in. It's the first week of June. We could have put this out the first week of May, but it was really cold here the first week of May. Well, really the first 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks behind on our big garden, and we just now got around to it. But it's not too late in zone B, or even up north. They're just now putting theirs out. So if you're watching this up north, I mean, you can see, you can put your little garden here, work your ground up. That's the hardest part. Of course, if you got a tiller, I mean, I spent maybe 5 minutes a night, 3 nights in a row. Not in a row, but I skipped a few nights and went. And then we just put the stuff down. Hopefully this will keep the weeds out. Like I said, once everything gets going good and established, we'll probably put mulch over all of it. So if you have any questions, send me an email, leave me a comment. I personally answer all comments and emails and letters. Send me a snail mail. I've got my address down there. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate y'all watching. Hit that button, help us grow. We got a lot of new subscribers. We post long videos on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We put shorts Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we put videos out 7 days a week. Look for us, Davis Farmstead. We're down here in Southeast Tennessee. We went to the farmers market today. If you're local, go to our Facebook page, and we put on there when we're going to be or where we're going to be. So we probably won't go back till maybe one day, probably a Saturday. Well, whenever our stuff starts coming in, we'll go. So here I am rambling. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. We appreciate you watching. Support your local farmer. We'll see you down in the farm next video.